Hello everyone, welcome to my stream. Let me see how are you doing? I hope that everyone is fine. Uh, we are close to the end of Friday, and yeah, we are getting prepared for a great weekend. Hello Chitu, hello Vincent. Sorry guys for the Greek in the chat, but I have there a couple of friends from Greece who honor me with being here with us today, and that's a good thing. How are you doing? Let me. Please let me know about the sound because I had some issues on my stream last Tuesday, and I'm not sure if everything is going fine for you today. We did some fixes, and I think that it should be fine. Hello Retro Modernists, welcome to the stream. Welcome. Every Friday I try to stream about Amiga, classic Amigas. This time I'm doing some streams for this 1200 with the PiStorm, but every Tuesday I'm doing some streams for Amiga OS 4 gaming. It's something new for me, and I haven't done too many of them, but I'm trying to get better in playing games and talking parallel or trying to finish a game. Right now I'm playing the latest release of the Heretic 2 for Amiga OS 4. Thanks Vince, thank you for the for your comment about the sound. Retro Modernist says, was waiting last week as you said last time. You said you were off for a few. Yes, but last week it didn't happen. Yeah, it didn't happen because I got back from Greece last Wednesday, and I was pretty reckless, and I couldn't do the stream on Friday. I didn't even have this Amiga ready because I got the PiStorm with me in Greece in case we wanted to use it in the event that we were running on 13th and 14th of April. We ran the annual Amiga event for the Greek community, which I'd like to show you today some photos from the event and how did it go, and let you know about that event more, and if you have any questions I will be glad to answer them. So that's why I missed a couple of weeks and I didn't do the streams, but from now on I hope I'm going to keep on doing that every week. Hello Muad'Dib, hello Bolero. A lot of Greeks on the chat today, that's great. Chitu says AmiCamp was awesome this year. Yeah, it was. And let me show you some photos that I collected, that I took myself. I don't know how visible they are on your screen. Let me see if I do that. Yeah, so this photo is from the first day when we were starting setting up the machines in the event, the area. For the first time, let me go back. Yeah, for the first time we did the event in a hotel. We never tried that before, and it was a challenge for us. Hey Javier, welcome. Yeah. Javier, whenever you have time, please join us. Whenever it is fine for you, of course. I would like to be outside today because we have a sunny day here in Ireland, and that is not something you see every day. It's pretty extraordinary. and it is also too hot for us here. Yeah, I was saying that this was the first time that we tried to do this event in a hotel. It was an experiment for us, and we wanted to see how people will see it, if it will be something that they like it or not. It went quite well. We had a few computers, a lot of classic Amiga 500, and we had two Amiga OS 4 systems, two SAM 460, and a 4000, and also we had this power Mac that you see in the photo running Morphos. Stefanos, the guy with the blue t-shirt, is a great Morphos fan, and he's pretty active in the community, and he's having a great computer with him on every event. Retro Modernist says, yeah, UK weather sucks, it's been raining here. UK weather is better sometimes than the Irish weather. For us, in 5 minutes it might change to rain, and then it might snow. It is never something that you can rely on the weather here. Cito says the A4000 was great. We were lucky to have one there. Yeah. And Konstantinos, who brought this machine, was pretty happy to have it there. It was his first time attending this event. Also, we had, for this event, for the first time, we had a big, nice posters on the wall from old Amiga, original Amiga advertisements. Let me see, I have, I think, one more here, like that. These posters are recreations by a guy called Vasilis Psomiadis, and he got the original advertisement and recreated them with modern tools, of course, in high definition, and the advertisements are crisp and beautiful. Let me show you his website. His website is amigaposters.github.io. He has all his work in there. He has also disk labels for different versions of Amiga OS releases, recreated from scratch. And if you want anything, he has them already there for you to download them. For the posters for the event, we asked his permission, and he thankfully granted us his permission to use these posters, and we tried to print them in high quality, and yeah, the posters were great. A lot of people loved them. A lot of people asked us if we were selling them or something, but they are something that we tend to have on every event in the future, to make the area more Amiga and have that feeling for the Amiga. Also, we had a huge, a really big screen in the area where we were showing demos, Amiga demos, for the last decade and even more. We had them in video and playing one by one for the area. And here is Konstantinos with my beloved poster for Amiga, which is with this Amiga mouse and 4 models of the Amiga. I love that poster. And here we have Stefanos, who we had some presentations in the event. Stefanos is developing the real Amiga soccer total pack that has to do, yeah, it is for accessible soccer, and it's the total pack that is already released for Morphos. He gives that free of charge. You can find it in morphostorage.net and download it. It has all the teams for accessible soccer in different years, all the competitions, all the different versions of accessible soccer that were released, and a lot more. And you have he created a really easy to use user interface where you select what exactly you want to play and use, and then start accessible World of Soccer on your machine and play with that. He gave us a presentation about what he did and how, inspiring people to start and developing stuff, although that he's not a developer. He did that with Hollywood and some other guy, JPV. You probably have heard of him, who is pretty good on Hollywood development. He helped in the project. A lot of people joined us. This is from the second day, I think. Sunday. You can see here the classic Amigas, and a lot of people being around the event. We managed to have around 40 users at the same time in the room for both of days, especially the second day where we had the accessible soccer contest. And of course, as you can understand, all the joysticks were on fire. People were playing like maniacs accessible soccer, and it was a great competition. We also had these two people. You might know them or not. On the left, it is Irla from Ireland. He's the main organizer of Amiga Ireland event. For all these years, he honored us coming to Greece, to Athens, and visit our event. Probably he came to steal our ideas. I think that's the reason why he was there. And on the right of the photo is Raven Lourdes. She's a cosplayer. She loves to do cosplay for Amiga games. And she attended a lot of Amiga events around the Europe. She's been in Amiga 37 and Amiga 38 in Germany, and also she was in Amiga Ireland. And here is a question: if you can, let me see, if you can guess which game they are doing, both a cosplay of a game. Can you guess which game is it? Can you write in the chat which game they cosplay? Let me see if I can zoom. Monkey Island, no, not this time. They did it on, what was that? I think Amiga 38 in Germany. Barbarian, no. Situ is giving some tips on the chat. She did Let's Act, yes, and Irla did the Guybrush, and it was so good. They both were fabulous. Yeah. Were you there, Modib, in the event at that time? I think you were on Amiga 37 where she did the Shadow of the Beast, the monster from the Shadow of the Beast. JMA, hey, welcome to the stream. Elvira, no. she was great as a Shadow of the Beast, and she's creating all the costumes herself, like all the cosplayers are doing. And she's crazy about the Shadow of the Beast. It's her beloved game. She even has a couple of tattoos from this game. Retro modernist Leisure Suit Larry. No. But you're close, let's say. C2 gives more tips, so I'm going to move on and let's see if I have any other. It was a little bit hard for me as well to guess it. Yeah, more here from the second day we changed the videos that were playing on the big screen, and we selected a video where it has something like 150 video games, Amiga video games only, playing for a couple of for a few. JMA found it, yeah, Maniac Mansion, great, well done JMA. Yeah, the screen was showing this video with 150 video games from Amiga, something like 5-10 seconds every game, which was fabulous, and a lot of people came to us and said, oh, that video is great because it reminds us so many games that we forgotten and they were so good and they loved it. People here are using a beast of the Amigas, the 4000, just for Sesame Soccer, because it was the highlight of the day, right? So yeah, and we had a few people coming for the first time in the event. This is Spiros and Christos, who are in the organizing team. Hello Aris Amiga, welcome to the stream. And a lot of people here, and yeah, I think a lot of the gaming, of course, with the classic Amigas, and yeah, I think a lot of people had a blast. They prefer to see the Amiga like the old machines, playing with them. Remember when they had their own? A lot of people said that, oh my god, I want to go back to the house and restore my Amiga and make it working again and play games. I think you heard it before if you attend to Amiga events, which is great. I would suggest you all guys, if you have time and the ability to go to Amiga events, it's a blast. Let's see other photos. Yeah, playing games around the area. We also run right now a survey to get feedback from the users, from the visitors, and they seem to love it. Here I see Chitu with a red t-shirt. He's in the chat, so yeah, that's the guy. And yeah, it was a blast. It was difficult for us, the organizers, to run it and organize everything. We were working for 6 months for that, and we had a good time, and we already plan for the next one. We hope to have a bigger area. We have to have more computers there for people to have fun. And if you guys feel like it and you would like to experience the Greek food under the sunny weather and the glorious sun of Greece, you are more than welcome to join us. Let me see here. Yeah, it was, and it was also something that was exhausting. I was trying up to the last day to resurrect an Amiga 2000 to have it in the event, but unfortunately it was not working reliably, so I didn't bring that with me. Smash 1980, welcome. Greek food and Amiga, what's not to love? Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Uh, we will see. Probably we are going to do the next around the same time, close to Easter, and maybe April or early in May. But if you want to um, if you want to learn more, the website is amicamp.gr. Um, this is where we share the next date and when it's going to be happening, and also we have a web page, sorry, a page in Facebook where we announce news and we announce information about the next event. And if you want to follow us there, you are going to get all the necessary information. Sorry, cables are falling apart around here. So, and we also are looking for people who would like to present something that they develop, or they would like to present what they are doing for the community, or something that they are doing for themselves, and they like to show what they are create their creations, even if you are doing something like in Lightwave, like my friend Muad'Dib over there. I'm not in the kitchen, but you know, all the cables around here to do to run. Only this Amiga needs 5 different cables. Yeah, they are falling apart. I have here one cable that we might need it later. So that's all about AmiCamp, and let's see what's next. I would like to share some news about the PiStorm. Michael Schultz, who is the main mind behind PiStorm and Emu68, announced the creation of the drivers to support the Wi-Fi for the PiStorm. I'm not sure if those drivers are working with the Raspberry Pi 3 or not. I think they should work just fine. They are still in alpha status, and the ones that were released are not using WPA encryption. They are available here on his Patreon. That's why I couldn't find he's working on the WPA encryption, and I think he has that working. He showed a video about that working here fine, but I couldn't find them, so I can't use them yet, and I can't see if that is working and how good is it working. So we might see that in the future when they are released officially. I wouldn't like to use the non-encrypted drivers, because this requires to have a Wi-Fi open for everyone to connect, and this is quite dangerous for people to get into your Wi-Fi, into your network, and bring troubles to you. So I would like to avoid it and go to a different way to connect my Amiga on the network. Muad'Dib says, if my finances are better, I will try to come to the next one. Muad'Dib, we can invite you and help with the finance, and you probably could stay on in our houses, so we can have a discussion about that and have you there, as long as you bring your Amiga with you from Sweden. So yeah, that's a good news, because having Wi-Fi working on from the Raspberry Pi is great, and it seems to be quite fast, and right now it's not even optimized, right? I expect that this is going to get better and better. Mikael is doing a great job with these drivers. Yeah, Modib, 3D like hell. I still have, where is it? I still have this. I kept it for you. So the next time we meet each other, I'm going to have it for you. Unless if you already have it. I don't know, it's a great manual, and it has even colorful screenshots. And somewhere it has some stickers as well. Where are they? Yeah, somewhere there are some stickers. Official stickers, back from the day. Anyway, this is here for you. It's for version 3, unfortunately, but this is something. I am looking for Cinema 4D version 4, version 2 up to version 4, the English manuals, which is pretty hard to find, unfortunately. They are not available in any format, not even on scanned in PDF or whatever. They are available only in German, which I try to use some tools and translate them, but that's not good. A couple of days ago, to see how desperate I am, a couple of days ago I found on eBay Cinema 4D version 4 in a box for Mac and Windows 95, and I bought it just to see how close these versions are with the Amiga, and see if the manual, the actual manual, is useful at all for the Amiga. Yeah. Cinema 4D, we have to translate the manual. Yeah, it is difficult. I tried some DeepL and other tools, AI, to have it translated. They are doing good job, but it is something that requires, because it is more than 600 pages, it requires some payment to make it happen for all these pages. So I'm trying to find the cheapest way to do it and see how it works. Finn said a trial and error. That's what I did with Cinema 4D. But yes, we need the English manual. Yeah, Vince, you used Cinema 4D a lot in your videos, and it's an awesome application. And we need the English manual, yes. I don't know yet, Modib. I'm still waiting for this to arrive and have a look. But it's Cinema 4D version 4, so I guess it should be, the base version should be close. Version 5, and then it should be quite different, because version 5 is not available for Amiga, so I guess version 4 should be close, and the manual should be useful. Now, it seems it has a big manual, so I guess it includes all the information from version 2 and above. because for the Amiga, what they did was they released version 2 with a big manual, but version 3 and version 4 was just the differences and additions to the version 2 manual. So if you don't have the version 2, you don't have most of the information. But the one that I bought for Mac is a huge book, so I guess it has everything. Yeah, as updates, I guess. Yeah. I think this happened with a lot of software back in the day. The interesting stuff is that they didn't even provide the manual as in electronic file, or something like an RTF or anything, or a plain TXT file. So you can't find it even on CD-ROMs for Amiga that was released for the Amiga. So I don't know. And some guy from England was selling that version for version 2 for Cinema 4D, and I lost it for a few minutes. he was selling that in AmiBay, and someone else got it earlier. Muad'Dib says we can take a look and perhaps start a translation project if you guys want. Yeah, absolutely. We need a German guy to do it. If he wants money, we can gather the amount, I think. Yeah, Vincent, that's a good idea. The thing is, there is a discussion for a long time now in abime.net on EAB, English Amiga board, and I haven't seen anyone volunteering about that. And remember, it's a huge manual. Muad'Dib, you can ask him if he would like to spend that time to do the translations for us. That would be interesting. I think a lot of people are looking for it, and I have seen discussions from people in different forums and Facebook from all around the globe asking for these manuals. Anyway, what else? What we will see today? First of all, let me switch, and Amiga is working. If you have seen my previous stream, the last one that I did about the PiStorm, we set up the RTG there, and then I tried to create a new partition, and I tried to do a format, an SFS format for that partition, and that was it. We couldn't put again into the Amiga. So what happened? It seems that the SD got corrupted. Although that I could see the partitions, the boot partition that has the Emu68 there, it was unusable. So I had to install everything from scratch. This time I took also a backup of everything, and I installed the system again, but this time I use for the partitions, I use only the fast file system, the latest one that comes with Amiga OS 3.2, and because these partitions are running on the SD card, they are quite fast. I think the last time that we measured that, it was something like 10 megabytes per second or 20, I don't remember. And also, if you remember, we had a discussion about the file systems and which one is preferable to use, and I told you that I would like to use on my other systems, which are the 1200 which has the 030, I like to use the SFS there. But because the SFS is faster and the system is not that fast, so I prefer to use the SFS to have a better response. But for this system, and since the SFS is not working quite well, I don't know why, maybe it has to do with the way that the device for the SD is working, some kind of problem. I had that problem, I remember, with my Amiga 2000, which I was running a SCSI hard disk. I never could install PFS or SFS on that system, but FFS was installed just fine. Maybe it is correlated with something, I don't know. But here it doesn't make that gain of speed from these file systems, I don't think make any major difference, because the system is too fast. If you get even 10 megabytes per second on this system, I think it's pretty enough. Let me see if I have. I think we ran the sysinfo and measured that. Let me see if I can get it again. So what I did was to install again Amiga OS 3 with the RTG, but I used a newer version of Picasso, and that one came with a newer version of P96 preferences. Muad'Dib says I will, but we can do Google Translate and he can just proofread. Yeah, that's how I did the translations that I have already finished. They are, I think, version 3 and version 4 are completed, and half of the version 2. But I don't know if the proofreading is going to be an easy thing to do. Vincent says with SFS you need to include the no recycling switch. Yeah, we had that. When you format a disk, this is not mentioned. I discovered it in the hard way. Without it, it will corrupt the file system. I think we had that, but I'm not sure. But yeah, we had the file system corrupted. So the P96 preferences is this one, which seems a little bit more easy to set up and use. It has some flags that you need to set up based on your system from this area. For example, if I want to disable Amiga Blitter, I click on here and change the value. These usually are also environment variables in envarc, but doing it from here is much easier. That depends what exactly you are going to use. That depends on your system and what you want to achieve, and the documentation of Picasso has a lot of information on how they are working and what they are doing. So if you would like to experiment, this is something you need to read a lot of stuff. Vincent says SFS format drive DHMID name. Yeah. I think that's what I used. Maybe I didn't use the no recycling. The no recycling creates the .recycling folder, right? Where when you delete things, they go there instead of being deleted. And also here you see it says Emu68 VC4. This is the driver that we are using for the Picasso, for the RTG, and has also some extra flags if you want to override things from the overall settings. Depending on in case you have multiple graphics cards on your system. So for a specific graphics card, you might want to override some of these environment variables. And also it shows, for me, it discovered all the resolutions automatically, and the only thing that I had to do is to select one, for example the 1280 720, and have a look on this if they are fine, and give it a test, for example, something like that. And then you save it, and it was pretty easy to set up resolutions for the screen mode, which has everything there now. So right now we run in 1280 to 720, 32-bit, not bad for a 1200, right? And it's pretty fast and responsive, and it works flawlessly with the system, and the capture card is 720p, it's fine. So that was the difference since the last stream. And also the other thing that I installed was, I don't know if you remember, we had the XAD installed, XAD library, which is useful for doing some for the archives, to extract them and things like that. And the only thing that I installed is the Avalanche, a free to download and use tool from Aminet, which uses the XAD. It's a graphics user interface for the XAD from Chris Young. It's something like the Anarch application utility that you may use in Amiga OS 3.9. It uses the reaction from Amiga OS 3.2, so it uses all the latest versions of the gadgets, and it's pretty good to use if you need to extract files with a user interface. Other than that, yeah, that's all. And what we are going to see today, I hear you asking. So, what we are going to see today. My plan for today is to see the Emu68 tools that are available from the GitHub, from Emu68 GitHub page. Let me see if I have it to show you that. So if you go to Michael's GitHub account, there is the repository about the Emu68 where you can download the latest Emu68, but also there is Emu68 tools. Those tools are, I don't know, I don't have an idea. There are a lot of tools there, but I don't know what exactly we can do with them. So we will have a look and see what is useful. I have seen some screenshots where you can see, for example, here, if we go to this video, there is Emu control. This one here. This is something that gives some information about the ARM and the cache and all this stuff. We will see if that works and if it is useful for us to watch something about that. If you have any experience with PiStorm, please let me know. If there is something that we should definitely have a look. I don't know if we need to install the 68040 library. I see here there is VC4 tweak. Probably this is something that has to do with the graphics card, SD card device. Let's see what that is. and if it is useful at all for us for now. And also what I would like to do is to use a PCMCIA card to install to get access to network, installing the Roadshow. And if everything goes well, which usually doesn't happen in these streams, hey Bolero, yeah, I'm in Ireland, in Dublin of Ireland. And if everything goes well, I am going to proceed to see how WHD load runs. There is a wrapper for WHD load, and you need to install that as well. I don't know exactly why. I think it optimizes some games or something. And try a couple of games and see how they are working, or a couple of demos. Now, that's the three things that I plan to do today. Do you have any preference to start without, not in this order, and do something in a different? Probably you want to see WHD load first of all, or you probably want to see, I don't know, you don't care about the utils and you would like to go online. So is there any preference, or is this fine to go that way? Or you probably would like to see some sysinfo benchmarking. SLD Snake, welcome. Hello. You are not late. I just start with the PiStorm. I was rambling all the time before. No big deal. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here. So, I will use the PCMCIA and give you some time to think about the order and what you would like to see. Cool, PCMCIA works. And let's see what we have here. PiStorm. I guess you agree with the order that I shared with you, so okay, let's go with Emu68, and with a double click it opens in Avalanche. RAM is already selected, so I will click on extract and it's done. And let's see what we have here. I hope they have some good documentation and understand why, or if we need these tools. So contrib Emu68 reset και Emu68 info. Okay. Okay. Let's click on that and see what happens. Nice. So this tool Emu68 info gives us a lot of information about what the, I guess these are arguments. So let me open write Amiga E, gives us this new shell. Okay, Emu68, sorry, Emu68 info. Yeah, they are arguments. So if I go and say voltage, it gives us information about the voltage. So I guess this is a good tool to find information about the system or set some things. Set LED. Soft reset. I guess it resets the system. Temperature. Let's see temperature. Can you combine this? Oh, you can combine them. So it's running on 50, almost 50 degrees of Celsius, and it might be something that can be used in scripts, I guess. C2 says streamer's choice. Okay. What else? What else? Small PT. What's that? Let's see. Okay. Does something like waiting for welcome message from renderer alive, sending startup message, entering main loop. Okay, is this some kind of benchmarking? Maybe. While we wait for that to finish. That's the thing, I don't see any documentation in the package. So the video core are the files that we used when we wanted to set up RTG. Now I remember that. And if you don't use these files, you can't set up RTG on your system. So this is already done, we use that. The V4 tweak, no documentation here. But this might be the tool that we have seen in the video. Hey Arislab, welcome. Welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Maybe it needs Magic User Interface, which I haven't installed. Now, guys, which version of Magic User Interface you prefer and why? Go, write on the chat. You have some time because this is rendering. So please let me know. Which one would you prefer to install on a PiStorm system? How are you, Aris? How are you doing? Vincent says 3.8 Lite and compatible. Yeah. Lite and compatible. Even on a, would you prefer that even on a blazing fast system, for example, the PiStorm or the a vampire, for example, in case someone has a vampire? Yes. Okay. But you are missing then the newer features that the newer version has and the bug fixes. For example, the version 5 is more capable to save window sizes and lists, the sizes of the lists and things like that. SLD Snake says, I started installing Magic User Interface 5 with Amithlon, so the same with PiStorm. 3.8 for real CPU hardware. Okay. An Amiga will always be an Amiga. Yeah. You are right on that. Let me see which version I have in my PCMCIA. I think I have here a folder called Essentials. And I have Magic User Interface 5. Sorry, sorry Vincent. SLD Snake says only Amiga. Yeah, exactly. This is still rendering. Is the music fine or do you hear it at all? Should I stop it? or have it higher. For my side, I prefer to use Magic User Interface 5. Even on my 030, I use this version. I agree with Vincent that it is slower in some things, especially if you try to change preferences, because it tries to update all the open applications at that point, which is a great idea if you run it on, let's say, a PowerPC system. SD Snake says, I think I saw your name at the Magic User Interface 5 installer. Yeah, it's there. Vince says above 3.8 doesn't feel right. It is more modern, right? Yeah, there are some decisions taken for Magic User Interface 5, like the updating of all the windows, but it's not applied quite well on Amiga OS 3 systems, especially if they are not that powered. I mean, something like that should be able to be disabled. Not about the looks, about the response and feeling. What kind of machine do you use it mostly, Vince? I know you have a lot of systems, but what is the one? Which is the one that you mostly use nowadays? Okay, this rendering just finished and gave us 6 minutes and 28 seconds. So it works like a benchmark for the system. Of course, while it was doing the rendering, I was doing other things, so I don't know if this is accurate for us today. But it's pretty good to know that this exists. Okay, small PT. Okay, so I extracted the first, and then we have the extras. And let's do installation. See installer unable to open. Okay, when you run the installation, it asks for the C installer. Usually, I don't recall correctly, but I think this one is in utilities. Usually, no, system installer. So this tool is in system for the Amiga OS 3.2. To fix that, you just need to go, come on, to the icon of the install Magic User Interface and delete the C and colon, so that it will search for the installer in the whole path of the operating system, and the system folder is, I think, in that path. So if we run it now, it works fine. Vincent says 040 with Voodoo, WinUI with 3800 MIPS, and soon with PiStorm. I got two but not used them yet. PiStorm for which machine? For 500 or 1200? I think you have 1200s mainly, right? Or am I wrong? Okay, Magic User Interface. So please select a place, a drawer, code. Okay, I like to install them usually on my system at the root of my system. The reason why I do that is because that's the way that the Amiga OS 4 installs the Magic User Interface at the root of the system folder, and I'm used to that. So, but this is a personal preference. If you want to install it anywhere else, you can do, of course. Okay, so let's leave the installer finish its work. Vince says you need the utility that fixes the palette of Magic Workbench icons. Yes and no. I plan to use the latest icon library, which supports also the icons from Amiga OS 4, the dual PNG icons. And for example, this first here and this one, they are icons from the Amiga OS 4, so I expect them to work fine after that. I haven't installed that yet. Yes, that's why I want to use that library. SLD Snake says the Magic Workbench colors aren't fixed in prefs, OS 3.2 I mean. I think you can go in palette and load the classic presets and no, not here, here, no. Or you mean if I go to Workbench, it has here the set Magic Workbench colors, something like that. So these are going to look much better. Okay, yeah, thanks for mentioning that, SLD Snake. Yeah, here, set Magic Workbench colors. Actually, I haven't changed anything here. For example, quality. Of course we want best. No border. Okay. What else? That's fine. And for the screen mode, no, not the screen mode, the workbench pattern, I have scaled best, of course. Proceed. English. Magic User Interface example programs. Yeah, let's have them installed. We don't have any problem with space, so let's have them installed. Now, because some people are confused with that, this step asks us to install the Magic User Interface based ASL requester. And some people don't understand what this means, which is that if you install it, it adds a patch on the user inside the user startup after the code that is for Magic User Interface, and that makes every ASL window, which is for the files, the requester that shows the files or folders and things like that to select something, they are changed with the one that uses Magic User Interface. Is bigger, it has a lot more features, and some people don't like it. I don't like it. So usually I select here no, so I skip that. SLD Snakes says disk space, where we are going we don't need disk space. Yeah. We need disk space actually, because we have more than 4,000 games to install in WSD load format, so we want to play them, right? We need a lot of space. So Magic User Interface is installed. Let me install the key as well. think the root no, it's not for the root folder, it's in libs. If I'm not wrong, the MUI key needs to be in libs, if I remember correctly. And let's do we need a reboot? So maybe we need a reboot, but if we run Magic User Interface, it says unknown error. And the reason for that is that Magic User Interface is not set up the assigns and all the stuff. Let's see if we can do it manually. So if I go to Tools, Text Edit, of course doing a reboot might be faster, right? But let's do it manually. So inside user startup, we have the lines for the Magic User Interface. And what it does, it creates an assign for Magic User Interface and then adds the libraries, the folder libraries, for the path and libraries, adds the Magic User Interface libraries. Okay, and the same it does for the locale. Then it checks for the exec library to see if that is 39 or above, and if there is no problem, it checks for the Magic User Interface, so for the help files. So the main things that we need to do is this one, and this one. So let's do that manually. Okay, so now we have the assign. If I do MUI, I'm going to the MUI folder, and let's add that. And then assign add locale for the translations, I guess. Let's see if we can run Magic User Interface now. And it seems to work just fine. It opened pretty fast. It's unbelievable the speed that this PiStorm gives to Amiga OS, to this classic system is unbelievable. And also the thing is that, let's see if we can do something like that. That shows a lot of potential, right? So if we try now to run Emu control, it opens just fine. Perfect. And we get some nice graphics. Now, you, Vincent, said that this doesn't feel like Amiga, and yeah, the look is pretty different of Magic User Interface 5 against 3.8. It's a matter of, I guess, to change and make it look exactly like Amiga OS 3. Let's see if that make any change. I think not. But with Magic User Interface 5, you see you have the most used libraries already installed, and it also has a few fixes against the Magic User 3.8, which is quite old. Aris Lab and Bolero, thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. Retro Modernist says MUI was always different looking but themable. Yes. Yeah, you can change a lot of things. Let me see if, for example, if we go to a button and go to change the color. And select background. This is 32-bit, okay, so this is a pretty fast system to do that. for example, in Amiga OS 4 or a Morpho system, this is blazing fast. And of course, MIUI 5 was made mainly for these systems and not for OS 3. Now, remember, this Amiga has Raspberry Pi 3, 3B+, which is not the fastest Raspberry Pi that you can use on a PiStorm. Maybe with a Raspberry Pi 4 it could be even faster. But yeah, I think it's, for me, it's my personal opinion is it's better to use the latest version of Magic User Interface because it has a lot of fixes. But also have in mind that on my 1230 I had issues with the latest version of AmiIRC. A previous version of AmiIRC was working fine, but with the latest version I had issues. And I think those issues were not there when I used the Magic User Interface 3.8. So you might have issues and you might need to see what exactly works better on your system. So I see the groups here, the font is pretty bad, so let me check if we can make it better. So the position is here, -1, yes, and that's the thing, as you can see here, when I say change something over here, 0, test, okay, that's for the tabs, and let me change it here as well. It changes all instantly on the other windows. Every open window that has a Magic User Interface changes as well. Even if I don't click test, for example here I do -3 and tab, and that, sorry, not tab, enter, and you see that this changes on this window as well. So this is something that might be quite slow for a system like an 030 or 020. This is something that I would like to be able to be disabled, because when you try to make changes on colors, or if you try to make changes here on the container, if you go to the frame, you have to select it and drag it. Here with the PiStorm is fast, but I can't do that on my 030, because right now it updates everything and updates all the windows, which is pretty heavy. Okay, let's keep it like that. And the Emu control, let me move it to utilities. I would like to keep it. So we installed Magic User Interface, that will be useful. Save all, then quit. And let's keep that slow chip. I think here has some information that we have seen on the Emu68 info, like the temperature and the voltage. It has information about arm speed and JIT units, just-in-time units. Okay. So let me catch with the chat. Retro Modernist says, finally got my ATX PSU working properly last night. The fan needed some grease. Oh, it was too loud. Only had WD-40. Yeah, it's a good solution about everything, right? But now it spins. Just got to build the cable now. Cool, that's good. I want to change my PSU on my 2000 because it is quite old. I think that when I had the issues a week ago or 2 weeks ago, maybe the PSU was one of the reasons why it didn't work. For example, I had the SCSI hard disk spinning up just fine, starting booting, and then suddenly it stopped, it shut down, like someone pulled out the power from the hard disk. It was bad, and then after a few seconds started again, and maybe the PSU is failing. So I need a solution to have an ATX PSU installed inside the 2000 and have a converter for this to go to the plug for the 2000. I found something on AmiBay, which I'm waiting for it to arrive and see if that is good enough, or I need to find something else. Retro Modernist said Magic User Interface basically did what Commodore failed to do. Yeah, it is pretty good, especially if you are going to, if you develop for it, it helps a lot. Having a lot of easy things to set up, and having hooks for events and things like that, which are things that you expect from a modern, let's say, interface to create GUIs, but it remains quite heavy for the classic Amigas. Vince says, from what I see here and everywhere, RTG is not that fast. Yeah, for me, this I will say that we should wait to see eyebrows, for example, and scroll eyebrows, so you have a big area with graphics and text, and see how fast this scrolls. No, not how fast it renders the page, but how fast it scrolls up and down. But here, not this one. Let's see the this refresh, for example, and this changes. Now it's reading the directory. This kind of changes are pretty fast, I think. Reto Modernist says, wasn't there an application which could show a task set list? I'm going to need something like that, and possibly some MMU protection, because I'm the idiot looking at Mesa. Oh, okay. You are the one who tries to port Mesa on Amiga OS3, right? I have seen your messages on Facebook, the Facebook group for Amiga OS3 developers. Good luck with that. Solid window scrolling, says Vince. Solid window scrolling. How can I do that? Let me see if I can find some big this one, for example. This kind of scrolling. Retro Modernist says, I'll be amazed if it can be done. I don't think that, I think that everything can be done as much as you keep on trying to make it happen. But you might also open the can with all the worms about the tools that we have available for developing in Amiga ecosystem. I started working with the port of the latest WebKit engine for Amiga OS 4, and I have to say to you that a lot of stuff were missing and still are missing and me and the team that I formed about that, we are struggling a lot to make all the changes that need to be done. Have in mind that we needed even to work on the libc for Amiga OS 4, and also get our hands dirty with GCC and almost everything, P threads and all this stuff. Retro Modernist says, I didn't realize they would completely butchered portability and just made it POSIX. Yeah, that the work that is done in a way that is convenient for that time and what people were trying to achieve. C2, I think that these metrics here about the M60K and ARM MIPS are the ones that are required. The one that the million instructions that are executed at that point, I guess. That's why you see them being increased more than 1200. Yeah, I guess the Pi 4, the Raspberry Pi 4 is going to give us more speed, and that's why I believe that these solutions, the PiStorm, is a great solution, because by changing the Raspberry Pi, you get extra speed, and the Raspberry Pi is a matter of, I don't know, less than 100 euros to get a really fast Raspberry Pi. I think it's less than 100 euros to get the Raspberry Pi 5. I don't know yet if it is supported, because it might need changes on the Emu68, but let's think that this is some change that you need to do on the software and not on the hardware. On the contrast, if you have to think about the Vampire solution, every time a newer Vampire is released, you have to upgrade. For example, to get extra speed, you have to go from the Vampire V4, you have to go to the Vampire 1200 for this machine, you have to go to the Ice Drake to get extra speed, which is again paying the hardware, the new hardware, the price that they are asking for. But for the PiStorm, by just switching the Raspberry Pi, you get extra speed, especially if you are going to use the compute module, the CM4, changing later to the CM5 when this is going to be released and supported by Emu68, the drivers. I guess you are going to get extra speed for a really small amount of cost. Retro Modernist says, I will need to go into the libc, whichever one, but I dropped C and C++ in 2005. Take your time, it's a big task what you are going to what you try to accomplish. It's a huge task. Pi 5 cannot be used because PCI Express. You mean this is a physical obstacle for the PiStorm, right? So the only thing that might be needed is to, if that's the problem, we might need a different PiStorm to use it. But CM5, for example, might be usable. Also, you might be able to use Pi 5 if you desolder the PCI Express. If you don't need it and cut it or whatever. Vince says, on real RTG is blazing fast even on 030 or 40 machines. Maybe it's a driver issue. It might be, Vincent. The good thing here is that you have much larger memory for the RTG than what you can get on physical graphics card on other RTG cards, unless if you are referring to the ZZ9000, which has a lot of memory. Muad'Dib says, sorry I was away. Did you show any apps on the PiStorm yet? What did I miss? We installed Magic User Interface, Muad'Dib, and we are discussing about the speed of the RPG, and we have seen some tools like this Emu control that comes as a part of the package of Emu tools. Now we have a few more to have a look. List device tree. Let's see what's that. What is this doing? Okay, it lists all the devices that the Raspberry Pi gives us. Perfect. I think these kind of tools are also useful for people who will try to here we have Wi-Fi Pi device. Which version? 0.1.0. Okay. 3rd of April. It's quite old. It's one of the first versions. I will avoid using that. I2C set clock. What I would like to see at some point is if there is a way to connect the hard disk LED from my system, from the LEDs that are on the 1200, connect it on the PiStorm somewhere and have it blinking when the SD is accessed. That will be interesting, I guess. Let's see this one. PC4 tweak, and okay, this requires extra stack memory, so let's increase it. This is something that you will not be asked from if you are using Magic User Interface 3.8 or 3.9, because this is something that is required with Magic User Interface 5. And this, the stack size of, okay, maybe I need to here. Yes. So VC4 tweak. Is this for the graphics card? I guess. Okay. I don't see if that. I don't know if this is visible on your system, but having, you see that the screen goes up and down based on the value. This is something for the graphics card to make it work better on some systems. Now it is more blurred. So now it's more crispy, the screen is more crispy. Yeah. I don't know what exactly these are, but I'm telling you the results that I see here. Okay. We have seen the small PT. It's the rendering that we saw earlier. This device. Lattice I2C. Okay. I will not try that. I2C is a way to communicate between the hardware, have different hardware to communicate with, I think, with the Raspberry Pi, but I don't know if I need to have something connected. Emu control is this one here, and for this I see it has, let me run the commodities, click to front, yes. It has something like a debug and disassemble, I guess, debug. Maybe that has to do with something that crashes and you need to get information. Interesting. But this needs more documentation, which I haven't seen anywhere. Okay, boot abroad. What's that? Some fractals. Again for benchmarking. Okay. And that's the last that I would like to have a look. Release notes. That's from, okay, from Magic User Interface. Documentation is from Magic User Interface. Okay, and the SDK is also from the Magic User Interface. Cool. So, next stop. Let's get online. What we need. First, let me have a reboot. Yeah, so we have seen the Emu tools and what they are doing. I skipped the ones that has the I2C because I need to have a look more what they are doing if I find some documentation. And let's go and have a look on how to get online. Essentials. So what we need is the Roadshow. I have here the 1.15. If you don't know, the Roadshow is a great TCP/IP stack. The latest version was released a month ago. This is developed by Olaf Barthel, a great guy who does a million stuff for the Amiga community, and he's developing for years for us. He's the guy who is working with the Amiga OS 3 team. He's done the, how is it called? Let me see. The Cygnus editor is his work, and he maintains it. Cygnus editor, one of the best code editors for the Amiga. And yeah, he's the one who he creates the Roadshow, and he creates that, develops it for the Amiga OS 4 as well. Retromodernist says Roadshow equals to AmiTCP. I used AmiTCP as at uni. I'm not sure if the Roadshow is based on AmiTCP. I think it is based on the BSD TCP/I stack, an older version. And I think that the AmiTCP also is based on the BSD code. Now, the good thing with the Roadshow it is that it's still maintained. The latest version was released, I think, a month ago. So it's good to have newer updates, right? AmiTCP was the BSD socket lib. Roadshow is what it became. Okay. Yeah, but do you know the Roadshow is coming out of the code for the AmiTCP? I think AmiTCP was the latest version is version 4 that was released, if I'm not wrong. And you can find the AmiTCP version 3 free of charge on Aminet or something like that. So let me, okay, so we need the Roadshow, and we also need, where do I have it? This is for the wireless, and we need the, we might need these ones as well. No, these ones we don't need them because we already installed them in previous stream. sysinfo, SFS, also ready. No, not here. Ether Modern says, yeah, he closed the resource, okay. And Vince says, yes, there is a free version on Amiga. Okay, let's install the Roadshow. Proceed. Would you like to install special versions of the Roadshow BSD socket library optimized for your Amiga system? Yes. At the system, a draw Roadshow will be created. For the documentation for Roadshow. Okay, for the documentation I would go to help, to local, help, English, and install the documentation there. Okay. Now, what we are going to use for network. The Roadshow TCP/IP stack installation is complete. Note that no network interfaces are configured yet, which means that you cannot access the local network or the internet yet. Please see the documentation in System English Roadshow Installation Guide for a quick introduction to configuring Roadshow. More detailed documentation on Roadshow can be found in the same drawer. Okay, please reboot your Amiga to start Roadshow. Proceed. Okay. So what I'm going to use is this Micronet PCMCIA card that I have, I don't even remember how long, and this is getting RJ45, so we are going to use this one and have that installed through PCMCIA. So let's see, let's install that. And let me connect the cable here and see if we can make it work. I think I don't need a specific device for that because I think it comes with the Roadshow. Vince says Roadshow gives twice the speed of Miami. Yeah, I found it quite fast, and I think you are right. So this is fine. Is this cable connected? Let me check. Yeah, it seems connected. I have I'm trying to see now if the connection is fine and have the LEDs blinking. Let's see. Okay, and let's configure the Roadshow. Here, English, Roadshow. Okay. Configuring the network interface. Normal. Save as default. Configuring the network interface. Okay. Configuring for a cable modem. Configuring IP addresses. Okay. The network interface. So let's first have a look on which devices. Here networks, net interfaces and networks. Here, okay, we have only PPP serial and PPP Ethernet device, but do we have more in the storage? Net interfaces. We have some extra here. And for this one, I think I need to use the CNET16. You see here they have included some net interfaces. So I think I need to, let's see what it says. Roadshow needs special device drivers which transport the network data between your Amiga, the local network and the internet, and network interface configuration. Okay. You can find the network device drivers in the drawer devs networks, which can be found in devs. Entering the command dir devs, it gives us all these. If you just installed the Roadshow, all the stock network configuration files which Roadshow shipped with will be stored under storage net interfaces, this one. So the configuration file, so what we need to do is to go to devs, net interfaces, and move the CNET over here, and let me see if I can read what is in there. Okay, so configuration for PCMCIA card supported by CNET device. So we need to have that device. It's DHCP. I think that if I provide that device, it's the only thing that we need. And where do I have it? That's a good question. Do I have it in... let me see if I have it in my Gotek. Give me a sec. Otherwise, what I can do is to grab it from Aminet and move it to that system with the PCMCIA card. But let me have a look if I have it in one of these drives. Javier, welcome back. No problem. No problem this time. I'm trying to find the CNET driver, and I'm looking in my Gotek external, the external Gotek that I have, if I have it there. Otherwise, I'm going to grab it from the Aminet and move it to the system here with the PCMCIA card. Yeah, it's not possible. Maybe we are going to have some problems now. I hope not, though. Okay. The HDMI got a little bit out, so that's why we couldn't get that screen. So I have here an ADF in my Gotek that is about utils. Let's see if I have it here. No, I don't see it here. So let's go and grab it from Aminet, and we have to switch to Amiga. To the PC. You see, I can't say that. I can't even say that. And connect the CF and go to Aminet. Aminet.net. Okay, and let's see about CNET. CNET device 1.9 2007. Let's download this one. Save the file and CNET device comes 1.9. Okay. Let's see if there is any other newer. Sorry, date. Okay, first page. Thanks, Retro Modernist. Thank you for being here and for all the discussion. Have a good evening. Bye bye. So this is from 2007. I don't see any relevant newer than that. So I guess this is the one that we have to use. And let's copy that from the downloads. Here it is. Copy into the CNET. The CF essentials here. Okay. Extract it. Eject. Great. Let's go back to the Amiga. and here it is. Essentials. I'm using a lot the shortcuts for the Amiga OS because I'm used to it, and I think that it is helping a lot to do things fast. But in case you don't see that and you don't understand what I'm doing, please let me know, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did. So we need this, extract, run, great, and yeah. So let me remove this one, we don't need it anymore. Okay. Great. So we need to go to devices, networks, and we have here the CNET 16. Let's go with text edit. Okay. Devices. If you remember, we have the net interface CNET 16, which is looking for CNET 16 device. So here we need to in the networks add the CNET 16, and I will add also the CNET device. The reason is because I want to have a look and see what is the difference between these two. So, based on the documentation, CNET device 6820 version for 68020 plus CPUs. Okay. So, for each of these, there is also a CNET 16 variant which needs to be used for cards that need 16-bit accesses for edges reach, more for some fast internet cards. So I don't think my card is one of these. Okay, Ethernet adapter, it recognizes the card. Okay, so what I'm going to do again is go to System, Storage, Net Interfaces, and get the CNET, and try this one. System, Devs, Net Interfaces. Instead of CNET 16, I'm going to try the CNET. CNET 16 has been deleted from on disk. Yes, no, because I moved it. Okay, so how can we enable this net interface? Let's see. If we go to Tools, Text Edit, and open the startup sequence, sorry, the user startup, we will see, if I'm not wrong, yes, we will see that the Roadshow added these lines here, and what it does is actually with Roadshow is a new file is created called network startup, which is the file to add anything you need to execute when the network is established or something like that. So if we open that network startup, we will see here that what it does is to add a net interface from net interfaces folder. So what it does, it takes this path, devs net interfaces, and checks all the info files. Sorry, all the files except the info files. That's why it has this title in front of these characters here. It says that means except, exclude, everything. These two characters are for defining everything, any name, any file that ends with .info at the end. So these, you will see that many times in different scripts. This excludes these files, the info files. And this also can be used in ASL Windows, the requesters for files. If you want to exclude, for example, all the PNG files, you can use something like that syntax to exclude them, so it will not show them. SLD Snake says, gonna close, will continue tomorrow. Thanks for the stream. Thank you so much for being here, SLD Snake. Thank you. Have a good evening and a great weekend. So that's what it does. So in theory, if we take it and open a new cell, and execute it, we are going to do what exactly is going to happen when we reboot our system. Timed out, let's try again. Could not add interface because it already exists. Let's have a restart and see if that works now. I see the lights are blinking here. I don't know if this is visible for you. Let's see. Wow. So this now is going to be executed on the boot, and if everything goes well, as it should, we probably will have internet. Our system connected to the internet. So if I go and do a new cell, ping Yahoo for example, okay, the name host is not there. C show net, show net status. On interface CNET we haven't got any DHCP. I don't know if it is a problem with the cable. Okay, let's try that again. I think something is wrong with the connection here, so that's why I'm holding that right now. And no. Yeah, for some reason it doesn't get connected. Let's see the device. Sorry, the network interface, if it needs any more changes. So CNET, okay, if not provided, unit number will be used the 0. I think that's right. Configure DHCP, that is right as well. If no DHCP server is present, debug, yes, you can enable diagnostic messages, which can be helpful if tracking down configuration errors. Okay. I don't think we need to set up something differently. Maybe it is a problem with the card. I haven't used that for quite some time. Does it need the patch to properly reset the card, or it is by default on 3.2? It needs that, Vince. You are right, it needs that, but I remember I have that already installed. And this needs it only if you, for the first boot, if you remove the PCMCIA and you insert it again, you don't need the card reset. But as you can see, I have that from the startup sequence. It's already there. Aris Amiga says, oh, Volgero, I had a similar issue with the Amiga, in Amiga Ireland. Are you connecting it to a switch by chance? Yes, I do. Do you think that's the problem of the switch? Because that switch is 1 gigabit and it might not support the 10 megabit cards. Vince says startup sequence, first line, good. Yep. Javier says, but doesn't OS 3.2 include such patch into Kickstart? The patch for the card reset, I'm not sure, Javier. I haven't heard about that for the card reset. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I have the ROM that we use in this PiStorm is the latest one that was released with the update, the 3.2.2.1, I think. Muad'Dib says that was my impression as well. Yeah, from my experience, or let's say because I have that experience for a long time now with the 1200 that always installed the card reset and card patch, I think I always use them, but now that you mention that, I will have a look. I will have a look in case this is not needed anymore. Yeah, but the problem might be maybe Aris Amiga is right, might be the switch that I'm using. So I will leave it for the next time, I guess. I will have a further look about it, and next stream, next week, I'm going to have my findings to you. Muad'Dib says 13.1, it says that card reset is needed for network cards, no mention to simple PCMCIA CF adapter. For the CF adapter, yeah, I'm not sure if it is needed. But again, have in mind that this problem is when you cold boot the Amiga. If you extract the PCMCIA and insert it again, you don't have that problem, you don't need it. Yeah, because the network cards are always, Muad'Dib says, so it says that it's needed for network cards. And I guess because the network cards are always connected, if you have some kind of these cards, you have them connected always on your system, right? So yeah, I guess I'm going to have a look, because it might be a problem of the switch. It might be a problem of the connector, because it feels like a little bit finicky here. So it might be that problem. And next week we are going to have a look. I might try a Wi-Fi PCMCIA that I have and continue that installation next week. So I will say that that's all for today. Next week we are going to see WHD load, and we are going to finalize this network connection. If a newer version of the Wi-Fi is going to be available, I'm going to try this out, and we will see how it goes. If anything else you would like to see about the PiStorm, please let me know, and I will try to run it and test it for you if possible. Thank you so much, Muad'Dib. Great. Thank you very much for being here. Chitu, thank you so much for being here. Let's see if Muad'Dib asks about Lightwave, and I think Chitu also asked about Lightwave. So yeah, we might see that if how good it runs. We use Picasso, so it's going to be a little problematic with the screens. I think we might need to use Mode Pro. So that is going to be an interesting stream. Aris Amiga, thank you so much for being here. Let's see if we can raid someone. Remember that we are running the Amiga April. We are close to the last days. So Amiga April is for all the streamers that are running their streams, and it's based on the Amiga, the best computer out there, right? So let's see if we can find someone who is streaming and raid them. Before we go, I would like to thank you all for being here. Muad'Dib, thank you for coming. Vincent, GR76, thank you for being here. C277, LSD Snake, JMA, Javier, thank you for being here. FF Shock, I see you in the list and you were silent again. Thank you for being here. Aris Amiga, thanks so much for being in the stream. And everyone that I might forget, and everyone who were here earlier, like Retro Modernists, like who else? A lot of people. Thanks for everyone for being here. I would like also to remind you that if you want to follow what I'm doing about the Amiga and my projects, you can have a look on my Coffee page, which is coffee.com/volquero. I have there blog posts about what I'm doing and programs that I'm working on, updates about games that I might port or anything. And also I would like to thank all my supporters, and especially the monthly supporters that are Breed, Christopher White, Daniel Zedlika, Emek, Livelord, and Tim Grooms. They help me a lot every month by donating an amount of money to me and my work. All the donations go to the Amiga community as for supporting all the websites that I maintain right now, and the expenses for software and hardware that I might need for these streams. Thank you everyone for being here. We are going to see each other this Tuesday. I'm going to continue with a new stream for Amiga OS 4 gaming, and the next week, next Friday, I'm going to continue with this PiStorm system, and we will see even more interesting stuff. So thank you so much for being here. I was really happy that I saw you all today, and all my Greek friends, thank you so much for being here. So yeah, let's see if anyone is streaming, and we can give them a raid. Let's go to Amiga Live, who is streaming. So thanks again. That's all for today. Have a great weekend and see you soon. Bye bye.